Hey everyone, how is everyone doing? Thank you so much for listening to another episode. This episode, I'm going to be talking about the importance of planning, the importance of logging, depending on your chosen activity, really, and how it helped me with my personal goals, such as London Marathon 2017, now I think it was, and just any personal goals myself. Non-running regarding our strength training. So a nice mixture for you really, and what you can implement at the end. So I thought it was a really good opportunity for you to learn more about how it worked for me. And actually, it was more about the mistakes sometimes, especially with the running, especially with London Marathon, especially with the 5K, 10Ks, the mistakes I made, and actually what I would do to improve it. But actually, how I implemented the mistakes I made and now made it help me with my strength training goals and how I planned for that and all the things that I kind of took from that learning experiencing from maybe I didn't plan as much and so on during my running days, actually how that's helped me get more personal bests, lift heavier, get stronger in the gym and so on. So it's a nice little mix for today. And I'm talking about myself. So get ready to listen. So obviously, whatever exercise you do, logging, planning is something that maybe you don't do at the beginning. Like it's your main focus right now at the beginning is just doing it. It's like, well, especially when I first started running, it was like, well, just run. Like, it doesn't matter what the data says on the app. Like, oh, and then over time, you're like, oh, this is cool. I beat my fastest 5K, or oh, I lifted 1 pound heavier than I did last week. But at the beginning, it's just about, well, can I improve maybe form? Can I just go again and stay consistent? And that's where it really, really should be the first main focus. So right now, if you are in that stage, listen to this podcast, but especially right now, your main focus should be being consistent and actually maybe implement some of these tips so that you don't fall into some mistakes. So when you are building that consistency, you can actually be more effective with whatever you're doing. So with London Marathon, let's talk about some mistakes. Let's just destroy my ego for a bit. One, I didn't plan at all. I knew that I wanted to run in a few months' time. I knew that I planned, well, I had an 8 month plan, not an 8 month training plan, but I knew around 8 months beforehand I was going to do it. So I started preparing for it. And my training was actually really fun, my runs. I remember running from South Manchester to North Manchester, which I didn't do it once successfully, but it was actually a really fun experience going through the canals and really fun experience. However, one day when it was really rainy and I got frostbite, and there was a memory to experience. But I didn't, with the run of the marathon, I didn't really prepare. I didn't know what I needed to do. It was just, let's run every day. And then I got injured. So that was a problem. That should have been the main point. At the beginning, I was like, okay, well, I've got to train for the London Marathon now. I can't take any days off. Like, this is really, really important. Run every day. Knee injury. Couldn't run 100 meters without being in terrible pain in my knee. And then then it got a bit better. I added some strength training to my routine. This was before I did even touch the gym. I did some strength training and then I ran once every fortnight. That's how painful it was. So every fortnight I ran, and actually after every fortnight it was good. And then it basically really helped me to basically run every fortnight. I did a half marathon beforehand, a few weeks beforehand, and then the full marathon. But I never even got to close the distance of a full marathon during training. I was 18. I'm not built for a runner, but the mistake I made was I didn't rest long enough, especially. And I was tracking all this data and I was trying to beat 10Ks. I was trying to beat half marathons. But actually, in the long term, that body wasn't the most sensible thing, because actually I needed to let my body rest and so on. So that kind of helped me regarding these goals now with strength training and planning. So right now, the last few months I had in 2021, at the end of 2021, I wanted to squat 150 kg, no belt, 3 reps. So that's on the squat rack, quite heavy. I'm proud of myself. For my weight, I'm pound for pound, I'm strong. I like to say I'm strong, and I only compare myself to me. If you know my episodes, I don't care what anyone else does. Amazing for them, great. But I care about myself, and I want to progress myself. I compare myself now and myself in 3 months, because that's where I can stay motivated and be disciplined. And I recommend everyone does the same. So that's another. I think I've done a lot of episodes on regarding that. So regarding the goals, well, I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, so I started maybe 120, 130 squats, and I just never was able to lift heavier. And what I did was, well, I set a goal. So I said around the end of the year, new year, I want to be able to achieve it. I put my nutrition put in place to help me with that goal. My program was a bit more lower body dominance, so I actually focus on mobility as well, and to help me strengthen the things around it. And I wouldn't be doing squats every day. So I'll be doing squats once a week. So every week I could progress, and maybe sometimes every other week, sometimes, and actually focus on other muscles around it to prepare ourselves. So every other week I was trying to level up, get my personal best, and then so on to 150. And that's how it happened. So one thing, I put a plan in place. So I had a plan in place. I kind of knew how it would work. And that's now helped me with my other goal, and even more now getting to another exercise, lifting to that exercise. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. So I'm planning. And also I'm taking track on what I'm doing. So I don't write down all the time what I do, but I always take a mental note. And sometimes I do on my notes, see how much I'm doing, how many reps and so on, which is going to help me. And that could be for any goal you have, is to use an app or something to help you. Another reason why I recommend planning and journaling is it's a sense of achievement, and it's nice, when you plan and you work towards each week, and maybe you're running further, maybe you're lifting heavier, and you're hitting the goals, or maybe you're underperforming, actually gives you a bit of an edge of motivation. There's a sense of goal here, and that helps you with motivation, that helps you with discipline, that helps with habit, and actually having a clear vision in your goal. And that will help you with your planning. Like if you have a journal and you say, okay, well, this week I wanted to run 5K in this amount, or this week I wanted to get 10 squats in this amount, you can look, well, actually I'm on target here. Oh, I'm actually past target here. That's really good. Or actually, oh, I need to try and get a bit better next week, and so on. So one, it gives you a sense of achievement, and it gives you a bit of data onto how you're doing. And especially at the beginning, you're not too at the beginning, again, consistency. But when you're trying to make those 1%, you're learning, you're always learning, you want to get better, you always want to achieve your goal. And it's quite a good learning experience for yourself. Thirdly, and this leads to the third point, is reflection. So even on how you're run, this is another factor. Reflection, how things are going. So maybe you are hitting your goals, and maybe energy is really, really high, but maybe there's reasons why there aren't hitting your goals. Maybe things are happening outside the gym or outside the running period, which is affecting you. Stress, maybe stress is really, really high, something's happened. Or maybe nutrition, maybe it's reflection. Actually, could my nutrition be better? Maybe could it be my water? Could it be lack of sleep? Could it be stress? All these things, whilst you're logging, you've got some data, you can assess that actually, is it the training? Are you overtraining? Or actually, is it things outside the workout space, which is destroying my progress towards my goal? So that's the reason why logging is really, really good, because you've got the data. And lastly, it's a routine. Like you talk the 3 points I mentioned before, is it's quite exciting, this. And you build a routine because you look forward towards it. And you mentioned, and the nice part about this, I've not even mentioned once about weight loss or muscle gain. This is just pure goal, and it's just pure self-achievement and self-reflection on your hard work. And that's what the main part is. You build a routine. That's in your run, you're going to put up Strava or whatever app, you know that when you go to training app, when you go to the workout, you've got a training app, and you're going to put your data in. So you build the routine, and it helps you, one, say, keep it more accountable towards your workouts. If something that's saying, if you struggle with consistency, and that's really, really important. So, and it's really, really important to understand, especially when you log, is don't let the data put you down. Like, you're human. Unless you're an athlete or trying to become an Olympic athlete, or you're trying to become a professional footballer, then maybe it's a bit more, okay, well, actually, what can we help make a difference? Because that's your job. But as as someone who just lives on this earth, who has a 9 to 5 job or runs their own business, but fitness isn't like they're getting paid to do their fitness or being paid to be a model, for example. One bad workout, having the data not always go in favor, and actually have a few weeks that are going off, that's very, very normal. And you don't get wound up about it, because that's going to add more stress to your plate. So that's the real reason. That's a really quick video on why I think you should be, eventually, when you build the consistency, you build the foundation of whatever you're trying to do, and you want to make that 1% better, you wanting to stay more consistent over time, you wanting to achieve some goals, planning, logging, journaling your journey takes time. Maybe it's like a few minutes of maybe a week. So it doesn't take too much. And sometimes it may, at the beginning, especially, maybe like, oh, I've got to write this down or on my phone. It will work out in the future to help you achieve a goal. So I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I look forward for you to journal and plan your next workouts. See you soon.